Welcome, everyone, to a fascinating journey through history. Today, we're going to delve into the ancient and prestigious Taxila University, a place that once stood as a beacon of knowledge and learning in ancient India. Located in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent, Taxila University, also known as Taxila, was a center of excellence in education that existed for centuries. Taxila started as a Brahmanical seat of learning. The sprawling campus of Taxila was divided into three main parts: the Acropolis, the town, and the university. The Acropolis served as the center for religious and cultural activities. The town was the residential area for students and teachers, while the university was the heart of learning. More than 10,500 students from all over the world studied here. The campus accommodated students who came from as far as Babylonia, Greece, Syria, Arabia, Phoenicia, and China. Taxila offered over 60 different courses in various fields such as Vedas, language, grammar, philosophy, medicine, surgery, archery, politics, warfare, astronomy, astrology, accounts, commerce, futurology, documentation, occult, music, dance, etc. Generally, a student entered Taxila at the age of 16. Students would come to Taxila and take up education in their chosen subject with their teacher directly. Entrance exam to Taxila was very difficult, and only 3 out of every 10 students passed the admission test. No external authorities like kings or local leaders subjected the scholastic activities at Taxila to their control. Each teacher formed his own institution, enjoying complete autonomy in work, teaching as many students as he liked and teaching subjects he liked without conforming to any centralized syllabus. Study terminated when the teacher was satisfied with the student's level of achievement. In general, specialization in a subject took around 8 years, though this could be lengthened or shortened in accordance with the intellectual abilities and dedication of the student in question. Knowledge was considered too sacred to be bartered for money, and hence any stipulation that fees ought to be paid was vigorously condemned. Financial support came from the society at large, as well as from rich merchants and wealthy parents. It has been suggested that at its height, Taxila exerted a sort of intellectual suzerainty over other centers of learning in India, and its primary concern was not with elementary, but higher education. According to many scholars, the highly systemized Vedic model of learning helped establish other large institutions such as Nalanda, Taxila, and Vikramashala. According to John Marshall, Indiana early Buddhist literature, particularly in the Jatakas, Taxila is frequently mentioned as a university center where students could get instruction in almost any subject, religious or secular, from the Veda to mathematics and medicine, even to astrology and archery. The role of Taxila as a center of knowledge grew stronger under the Maurya Empire and Indo-Greeks in the 3rd and 2nd centuries BCE. In the early centuries CE it was a prominent center of Buddhist scholarship as well. The university consisted of 300 lecture halls with stone benches for sitting, laboratories, observatory called the Ambudharavlihi for astronomical research, massive library called Dharma Gunj, or Mountain of Knowledge, consisting of 3 buildings, Ratnasagar, Ratnadavi, and Ratnayanjak. When Alexander's armies came to northwestern India in the 4th century BC, Taxila had already developed a reputation as an important seat of learning. Thus on his return Alexander took many scholars from there with him to Greece. The student-teacher ratio of Taxila University. Various historical sources, including the writings of Chinese travelers Faxian and Xuanzang, suggest that Taxila University maintained a favorable student-teacher ratio. It is believed that there were around 10 students per teacher, ensuring personalized attention and mentorship. Jataka Tales. A collection of stories associated with the previous lives of Gautama Buddha, the Jataka tales often reference Taxila and its prestigious university. These tales depict the city's intellectual ambience and its role in the spread of Buddhism. Greek records. Greek historians and travelers, including Megasthenes and Nearchus, made observations about Taxila University and its educational system. Their accounts provide valuable insights into the international reputation and cosmopolitan nature of the university. Chinese records. Chinese travelers and scholars, such as Faxian and Xuanzang, documented their visits to Taxila and praised its educational institutions. Their writings offer detailed descriptions of the university's layout, curriculum, and the number of students in attendance. According to the Ramayana, the city was founded by Bharata, the son of Kakeyi, and younger half-brother of Lord Rama. Bharata then assigned his son Taksha to rule the city. Archaeologically, the origin of Taxila as a city goes back to 1000 BC. Some ruins at Taxila date to the time of the Achaemenid Empire in the 6th century BC, followed successively by Mauryan Empire, Indo-Greek, Indo-Scythian, and Kushan Empire periods. The site initially began to develop as a loosely connected group of buildings where learned persons resided, worked and taught. Over the years, additional buildings were added, rulers made donations, and more scholars migrated there. Gradually a large campus developed, which became a celebrated seat of learning in the ancient world. Being near the northwest frontier of India, Taxila had to face the brunt of attacks and invasions from the north and the west. Thus the Persians, Greeks, Parthians, Shakas and Kushanas laid their destructive marks on this institution. The final blow, however, came from the Huns who in 450 AD razed the institution. Later when the Chinese traveler Huan Sang visited Taxila, the town had lost all its former grandeur and international character. Influential teachers that are said to have taught at University of Taxila include Pini, the great 5th century BCE Indian grammarian. Chanakya, the influential prime minister of the founder of the Mauryan Empire, Chandragupta Maurya, is also said to have been teaching at Taxila. Kumarlata, according to the 3rd century Chinese Buddhist monk and traveler Yuan Chuang, Kumarlata, the founder of Sautrantika school, was also an excellent teacher at Taxila University, and attracted students from as far as China. According to Stephen Batchelor, the Buddha may have been greatly influenced by the experiences and knowledge acquired by some of his closest followers in the Taxila University. Several contemporaries, and close followers, of the Buddha are said to have studied in Taxila, namely King Pasenadi of Kosala, a close friend of the Buddha. Agulimla, a close follower of the Buddha. Javaka, court doctor at Rajagriha and personal doctor of the Buddha. Charaka, the Indian father of medicine and one of the leading authorities in Ayurveda, is also said to have studied at Taxila, and practiced there. Chandragupta Maurya, Buddhist literature states that Chandragupta Maurya, the future founder of the Mauryan Empire, though born near Patna, Bihar in Magadha, was taken by Chanakya for his training and education to Taxila, and had him educated there in all the sciences and arts of the period, including military sciences. There he studied for 8 years. The Greek and Hindu texts also state that Kautilya, or Chanakya, was a native of the northwest Indian subcontinent, and Chandragupta was his resident student for 8 years. These accounts match Plutarch's assertion that Alexander the Great met with the young Chandragupta while campaigning in the Punjab region. So, there you have it, the illustrious history of Taxila University. It's a place that reminds us of the enduring power of education and the importance of preserving knowledge. Join us on more historical adventures as we continue to explore the rich tapestry of our past. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our upcoming journeys. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.